The recording was discovered during a routine cleanup of an abandoned communications station in rural Australia. There was no warning label, no introduction, just a man's voice, calm and professional, saying, "This log is being recorded in case no one makes it back." What makes this disturbing isn't what he describes at first, but what begins to interrupt him halfway through. Because whatever entered the station that night was already familiar with their voices. The station sat more than 3 hours from the nearest town, surrounded by flat red earth and scrubland that stretched endlessly in every direction. No fences, no landmarks, just isolation. It had been built in the late 1980s as a regional relay point, a place where technicians rotated in shifts to monitor signal traffic, weather data, and emergency transmissions. 3 men were assigned that week: Daniel Mercer, Tom O'Reilly, and James Holden. All experienced, all trained, none of them new to isolation. The station logs show nothing unusual for the first 4 days. Routine checks, normal weather, clean signal traffic, until the 5th night. At 11:42 p.m., the system registered an incoming signal. Not on any official frequency. It wasn't static. It wasn't interference. It was structured. Daniel noted it in the log as unidentified repeating transmission. The sound itself was simple, a low rhythmic tone, followed by a pause. Then it repeated. Tom joked that it sounded like someone testing a broken radio. James suggested atmospheric distortion. They logged it and moved on, but the transmission returned every hour. Always the same pattern. Always the same length, and always followed by silence so complete it felt unnatural. At 2:17 a.m. the tone changed. The system recorded a voice, male, clear, unaccented. It said only 3 words. "Is anyone there?" Daniel froze. The signal didn't originate from any known tower. There were no emergency beacons nearby, no registered aircraft, no vehicles for miles. Tom responded out of instinct. "This is Outback Station 14. Identify yourself." There was a delay, then the voice replied, "Outback Station 14. It repeated the name perfectly. Same cadence, same pitch, like an echo that didn't fade. James suggested cutting the response channel. Daniel hesitated. Protocol required engagement. He responded again, slower this time. "Who is this?" The silence stretched. Then the voice returned. "Who is this?" Not mocking, not distorted, just mirrored. Tom stopped smiling. The recording log shows a note written at 2:29 a.m. Signal appears to be copying responses. The transmission continued until sunrise. Then it stopped completely. Morning brought relief. Daylight always did. They reviewed the audio logs together, played the recording back. On playback, something became clear. There were 2 voices, one responding, and another quieter one beneath it. Whispering, not words, just breath. Daniel marked it as audio bleed. No one argued. They didn't want to. The second night, the signal didn't wait. It started the moment the sun dropped. But this time, it didn't ask a question. It said a name. Tom. Tom hadn't spoken yet. No one had. The system logs show no outgoing transmission before that moment. Tom stepped away from the console. James reached for the cutoff switch. Daniel stopped him. "If it knows our names," he said, "cutting it won't help. The voice returned seconds later. Daniel. Then, James. Perfect pronunciation, no static, no distortion, just recognition. They stopped responding entirely. The voice didn't stop. It began replaying fragments of their earlier conversations. Jokes from the first day, routine phrases, even background laughter. But the timing was wrong. The pauses were too long, the intonation slightly off. Like someone learning how to speak by listening through a wall. At 1:58 a.m., the voice said something new. "You shouldn't answer." Daniel reached for the recorder. That was when he began the log. "This is Daniel Mercer, recording for incident documentation," he said calmly. "There is an unidentified transmission interacting with station personnel. Behavior suggests mimicry." A sound interrupted him. A knock. Not on the door. On the wall behind the console. One, then another. Tom whispered, "That wall faces the desert?" The knocking continued, slow, deliberate. The signal began coming through the speakers. Without the console active. They unplugged the system. The voice continued, now coming from the hallway, then from the storage room, then from directly behind them. Always copying, never initiating, until it said something none of them had said before. "You can stop recording now." Daniel kept the recorder running. The last log is fragmented. Breathing, footsteps, a chair scraping the floor, James shouting, then silence. After nearly a minute, Daniel speaks again. His voice is quieter, shaking. "It's learned enough," he says. "It doesn't need us to talk anymore." There is a sound at the end of the recording. Not a scream, not a struggle. Just the recorder being placed carefully on a surface. And then another voice. Identical to Daniel's. Calm, professional. "This log is being recorded in case no one makes it back." The station was found empty 2 weeks later. No signs of damage. No bodies. The equipment was still powered, still transmitting, on a frequency that no one could trace. The recording was archived, classified as unexplained, but technicians who reviewed it later reported something strange. If you listen carefully, beneath the final voice, you can hear a second one, listening. Some stories don't end when the video does. If this one stayed with you, leave your thoughts below. And if you're ready for more stories like this, you know where to find them.